just to take a poll, how many of you have raised children from infancy? Parents? Any parent? How many of you are parents? Okay. The majority of you are. For those of you who have never raised a child, myself included, you have to use your imagination. Now, those of you who are parents, the first words that a child usually speaks is mama or dada, right? Normally. What's the third word that they always learn? No. That's why I'm single. And it's because they're developing their own personality, right? And as they grow, that no can change into various forms. And as adults, we still can say no, and it evolves into various dimensions. Now, bracket that. Let's go back to the very beginning. Why did God make us here on earth? How many Baltimore Catechism people do we have here? Why did God make you? To love Him, to serve Him in this world so that we may be happy in Him with the next, right? To know Him, to love Him, to serve Him. That relationship was made so that we could be intimate with God. And the whole notion of worship, the whole notion of grace is to be one with God. What usually gets in the way? The no, in its various forms. We say no to God, and we call that sin. We say no to love, and with the church, we call that sin. We fail to love God, we fail to love neighbor. And the problem in society, one of the problems is that we never want to take responsibility for our actions. Little Bobby does something at home. What does he do? Billy did it. Billy's outside. We grew up as teenagers. Everybody else is doing it. I thought I'd just go along for the ride. As adults, it's, the work expression, kill or be killed. Or the devil made me do it. Or you caused me to drink. I had a lady come in, this is many years ago, she's dead now. She came into confession. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My sins are the following. My husband did this, and this. So, wait a minute, what did you do? My husband did this, and this. She didn't do anything. Says, ma'am, you're talking about your husband. What actions did you do? Oh, I missed my morning prayers. But she herself didn't want to take blame for anything that she did. We in society don't want to take blame for anything that we did. The gospel today is saying just the opposite. You have to take responsibility for your actions. Sin does not come from outside. They could be a contributing factor, but it is we ourselves who always choose not to follow God. We can be influenced by parents, teachers, the news, but in the end, we are responsible for our own actions. And that's something that at times we don't want to hear. We want to take credit for all the good things that we do, but when something happens, it's not my fault. I'm not an alcoholic because, they made me go to the bar with them. Oh, well, I'm an alcoholic, but it's not my fault. It's their fault. All of us, me, everybody, chooses to sin. For those of you who are old enough, you remember way back when you had to fast after midnight, no water, you had to do this, you had to do that. On one level, life was much simpler. Everything was in black and white. Well, in reality, it wasn't black and white. Because what we were doing was just passing the buck. Well, if that rule in the church wasn't there, I would have been fine. Today's readings are a reminder that to have a relationship with God, we have to be an individual. God allows us to make choices. We can choose God, or we can choose sin. It's all up to us. God cannot force a relationship on us. We cannot force a relationship on God. It's a gift that we give to each other. How many of us say no? Oh, I don't believe in confession anymore. I just say my sins to God. I'd be done with it. Oh, I don't have to go to church every week. Those are old-fashioned. Oh, I don't have to know my prayers. What's important? I got better things to do. It's very easy to make excuses, isn't it? It's very difficult to stay on the right path. Avoid temptation. Avoid sin. And you'd be surprised how much simpler one's life can be. Try. Accept God's grace. There are times that we fail, but what does God look at? The heart. He looks at your intentions. If you don't have the intentions, it's not God's fault. It's your own. Live the faith. Be the faith. Follow the faith. Not just by rules and regulations, but by what's in here.